Hi. So a lot of you would have gotten the IIM Raipur stage 1 call, and you've been asked to go ahead and fill a form. So let's look at a few questions that have come in the form and what are some of the inputs that you can go ahead and keep in mind. Okay. So there are 5 questions which are predominantly there in the form, as you might be aware. Let's go ahead and have a look at the very first question. What does it state? Share an example of when you creatively combined different ideas or resources to achieve a specific goal, and then what was the result. Now, क्या बोल रहा है? Different idea यहाँ resources. So resources could be different set of people from different teams coming together to go ahead, work towards a common goal, and and then whatever the result was, hopefully you achieve the goal. So that's one way. Different set of ideas. Ideas could be यार एक particular common goal के लिए एक go to market marketing idea है, कोई और idea है in terms of physical marketing का, कोई और idea है एक social media marketing का, कोई और idea है pricing strategy का. So different set of ideas coming together for one particular product launch, or say one ensuring that the profitability of a particular product increases, something like that. So those are the kind of instances that they are talking about, and very importantly they are also asking for the result. क्या final outcome था? So please keep that in mind. Second question, describe an instance where you learned a significant lesson through direct experience, and how did that experience shape your future, right? Now, direct experience, so it is not something that you heard from somebody, मम्मा ने बोला, पापा ने बोला, फ्रेंड ने बोला, अंकल ने बोला, किसी और ने बोला, नहीं, मैंने खुद इसको महसूस किया. So it could be in school, it could be in college, it could be at the workplace, something that you went through yourself and you learnt it the hard way, and then now that you've learnt it the hard way, similar instances when they come in the future, similar stakes when you have, then how do you go ahead and behave? That's the kind of example to go ahead and give. Third, what do you consider to be your most notable achievement in your career or your education? Okay, and what challenges did you face and what were the steps that you took to overcome them? Now, most notable achievement in your career or education. So it could be, say, hypothetically, in my class 10 exams in mathematics, I barely passed and scored 35, but now in CAT I've gone ahead and scored a 98%. That's a tremendous growth. You can go ahead and talk about that. कि quant में, math में from 35, I've gone ahead and scored 98 percentile in quant in CAT. How I grew, how I focused on it, what were the challenges that I overcame, quant में क्या problem आती थी, यहाँ पे मैंने कैसे prioritize किया, something like that. Or it could be anything else where you realize that there was a particular shortcoming and this was the right way of going ahead and approaching it. That could be the next. The fourth question that we have, do you consider being emotional a strength or a weakness? In a professional context, very important in a professional context, provide an example from your own experience to support your perspective. Now, professional context, in the professional world, what do you think is more important? And please keep this in mind. They are talking about emotion as a strength or a weakness. So not more important. I got that sentence correct. So ignore that more important part. This is from an, from the perspective of a professional context. Do you think emotion is a strength or a weakness? Now, it depends on how you look at it. One way of looking at it is, being emotional is good if you know how to channelize it. But if you let the emotions get the better of you, if you're one of those, then being emotional might become a problem. So you have to go ahead and define it in your way. If somebody were to ask me my opinion, which is not sought for here, but if I were to give, I always state emotions are good, because it means you're connected to what you're operating on. And the more the connection, the more you will work, the more you will work towards its betterment and how to improve things. Hence, being connected and being emotional about it is good. When I'm a cricketer, I get out on 99, I get emotional, it affects me. When I lose the World Cup final, I get emotional, it affects me. When I win the World Cup final, I get emotional, it affects me. Being emotional is not always a bad thing, but do I channelize it in the right way? In the death overs, last over, 11 runs to win, if I am Jasprit Bumrah, I channelize it well. I say, I have got my emotions in check, the other person might not have gotten in check, so I know I will win this battle. But if I am nervous and I don't channelize it in the right way, the first 2 balls could go for a 6. That's basically what it means. So please go ahead and mention it accordingly. Give an instance, personal instance or a personal, incident where you've gone ahead and utilized it to your benefit or whatever it is. The last one, what do you believe is more valuable? This is where the more valuable phrase is coming in. Knowledge and expertise or networking skills. Okay, and elaborate with your own experience. Read the words, more valuable. Not saying one is valuable, the other is not. More valuable. So they are basically stating we realize both are valuable, but kaun sa zyada hai? Now you can go ahead and take one side by explaining we think both are valuable, but for me this is more because of this. Or the other way of saying is it's dependent upon the context. In a particular context, knowledge might be more valuable. In another context, networking might be more valuable. Why? Because having all the knowledge in the world, but not being able to communicate it, not being able to share it, not being able to utilize it for anybody's benefit is not going to help. In the same way, having the gift of the gab, being able to talk to anybody, but not bringing anything new to the table is only going to help you at a particular stage and not beyond that, right? So neither of them on their own is sufficient. Both of them are important, but one can be more important than the other in a particular context. So you can approach it like that as well. I hope these inputs have gone ahead and helped you a little, and all the very best in your form, and hope you go ahead and get that call. Bye-bye.